Hello and welcome back to our really crazy funky fabric fusion piece here. We're making a little wall hanging, but we're kind of doing it in a funky way. We're using our scraps and we're fusing all these odd pieces together to make something very conducive to hanging on the wall, a piece of fiber art. Now, recently the arthritis in my hands has really acted up, so I cannot do as much hand sewing as I normally do until it gets better. But it will over time. But in between, I still have my sewing machine, and so we're still going to be doing these projects. I will be doing more sewing machine sewing on these and less hand sewing. So this is my second piece that I'm going to be doing, and I've considered that this is the top. And since this one I know is going to be the very top, and it's going to overhang something, I don't know whether it's going to be this or one of the next two, but I leave a little space here so that when I put the next one that I want to go on it over it, it isn't so bulky. I can overlap it without having so much to sew through, okay? Excuse me. Now you can kind of see how this is going to work out. If these two pieces, excuse me, end up going together, what I've left overhanging is going to drape over. I can always come back and add more details at the end that camouflage the fact that this is done in sections, okay? So this one is partially ready. So we stop on it right there, and we're going to be working on this one. Now, at this point, you see I have laid out some pieces, and if you've seen some of my videos, you've probably seen me make some of these little tiny pieces of fiber art, and I put them in a drawer, and I pull them out and use them on all kinds of projects. So that's just real conducive to adding something special to something like this. Now I need something that's going to be drapey over on this one, so I'm thinking maybe we can incorporate something like this in here somewhere, so that we need something that hangs down, if you'll remember. Maybe we can tuck him under there like that. Put that little piece of lace on top of him. That would work out fairly good there. Okay. And maybe we don't want him to drape that far down. Let's pull him up a little. Okay, where's this one? Let's pull him up. Feather underneath that. There we go. There we go. Let's take this pin out and redo it so we can get this under there. Okay, I like that. That looks natural, and it gives me my draping element right there. Now I think I want a little bit more. So what have I got I can use for that? Let's see. I think a little piece, let me see if I can find another piece of fringe that might work here. We have something like this, and it fringes down. What if we take and we incorporate something like that in there and let those pieces hang down. Oh, I like that too. You know what? We might even add it to the other side. Just a little piece. And tuck this one under so it isn't predominant. There we go. Tuck it, pull it up a little, tuck it under that lace. But it still has little hangy things. Okay. Don't forget to cut the fringes off of any scarves or any garment that you're going to cut up to use, or you're going to trash, however you're going to do it. Get the fringe off of it because it comes in really handy. Okay, now if we audition this piece back, and if it were to set across that, okay, and then this starts flowing down and the next piece goes in, you can see how it's going to start building. Oh, isn't it looking pretty already? I like it. I like it. Okay. All right. Let me get some stitching done on this and I will be back. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're excited about this project because I'm finding it a lot of fun. And what a great way to use up all these scraps and pieces. We're just going to make a funky fabric fusion wall hanging and using all this stuff that we have laying around. Now, in the first video, I showed you the very first piece. Remember, we cut 4 pieces. Where's my other piece? Well, I know I have it around here somewhere. There it is. We cut 4 pieces of batting. We weren't concerned about how wide they were. They didn't have to match, but we were concerned that the length matched because I wanted my sides to be even, okay? But I wasn't real concerned about each section being the same because we're camouflaging them to look like one unit to begin with. But actually, we're working this wall hanging in 4 different pieces. The first piece that I worked, I wanted to leave my top clean, you might say, and my sides clean. But I explained that I wanted something to drop over the edges of the bottom. On each one of these, I have done that. I have left something dropping over the bottom edges here, okay, and this one also. So now the very bottom piece will have a definite French bottom on it. So these are going to be our 2 center pieces. And this is going to be our bottom, which I haven't created yet. So my dilemma here is, how do I want to arrange these? Because that's kind of going to determine what colors I put in on the next piece. And I thought, well, let's look at this a little bit. These 2 are a little similar in the cool colors. So I think it would be fun to throw the warmer color one in second. And if you notice, as I explained, I'm having trouble with the arthritis in my hand, so I can't do as much hand stitching, so I'm saving that for some embellishment pieces that I want to put on when I'm through. So I'm doing the stitching on the sewing machine and getting it down like that. Okay, it doesn't have to be all down because I do plan to do some hand stitching to take care of the details. But color-wise, I thought this would be a good break in between those cool colors. And then that'll kind of tell me how I want and what colors I want on my bottom piece. So now envision this. We're going to overlap that, and we're going to let these pieces hang down. Okay, and then when we get to this piece, we will be overlapping it. and we will let those pieces hang down. So you see, we're already getting a one-piece look to this. This final piece will go under, and then it will have some bottom fringing on it. Not a huge wall hanging, but substantial enough to make a statement, okay? I'll put a backing on it and also some way to hang it. Probably little tabs that I can just run across the dowel or tree branch or something like that and hang it like that. So I have one more to go here on this, and then I will be attaching those. Now I am trying to remember to, which I didn't right here, but to leave a little space, which would make it easier for me to sew right here. So this one's going to have to get, I'm probably just going to undo that stitch there, so that'll open up. And then this one the same way. And it really, I could just hand stitch it across. That would camouflage it, and I can also add bits and pieces to do that. Now, as we get finished, you can always come back, which I'll probably do, and you might add something across a border like that, and that would help to even camouflage it even more. You could hang something there, do a doodad there, hang something there, and that keeps the flow going and makes it look like one piece. But no one has to know that you broke it up in smaller pieces just to make it easier to work on, okay? All right, let's take those off. Did I get everything off? I think I did. So these are done, and we're going to stack them up the way we're going to do it. All right, that sounds good. And then I'm going to work on this fourth piece and get it ready, and then I'll come back and we will put these together and start working on a backing. See you then.